February 6, 2006. I have been in Iran for a week. Tehran, home to 14 million, drifts into a peaceful slumber, although not everyone. It is 10 p.m. 3,000 individuals have assembled outside the Danish embassy. Their declared goal: set the Danish building ablaze and deport its ambassador.
Down with USA. Down with USA.
All this violence over a few sketches. The publication of the Muhammad caricatures incited fury. In the Islamic world, European countries permitted the publication of these drawings deemed disrespectful towards the Prophet. In Tehran, their embassies are being besieged. The police can easily be overrun. Most of these youths are staunchly conservative, close to the Iranian government. They appear to have arrived there under directives. Suddenly, a tear gas grenade erupts, launched from the embassy. The gas is horrendous, its impact is instant. The crowd is scattering. A door swings open, belonging to a lavish building, adjacent to the embassy. It serves as our refuge. It's 2 in the morning and the police have turned a blind eye. The attackers did not exceed the limit that was set for them. Beyond the physical damage, it was primarily an explosion of hatred for the flashes of photographers and the lenses of television cameras. Everything appeared to be meticulously orchestrated. Back to the hotel. In my room, videos play on repeat on the TV about the Islamic Revolution. A familiar face reemerges, that of the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini. The revered religious leader returned to Tehran in 1979 after an extended exile in France to establish an Islamic republic. Today, the most hardline Ayatollahs remain in power. He's their nominee, that secular man in the white shirt, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, who, to widespread surprise, was elected president last June. "27 years after the Islamic Revolution, Iran remains stagnant. It is still the religious leaders who hold political power. It's always the same rhetoric, the same slogans that I hear during the anniversary of the revolution. The greatness of Iran, the repudiation of Western civilization, and the hostility towards Israel. Today, these slogans are being adopted by the new president, an extreme fundamentalist who, for the past 9 months, has been stirring up the masses with the denial of the Holocaust, the genocide of 6 million Jews by the Nazis during World War II.
Today, some individuals assert the Holocaust indeed took place, and we ought to believe them without posing any questions to us. This is a perspective originating from the Middle Ages, because simultaneously, Zionists are killing Palestinians daily. If you truly wish to witness the horrors of the Holocaust, go and investigate the situation in Iraq.
Down with Israel. Down with Israel.
Beyond these assaults against America and Israel, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has set a new mandate for his country: mastering nuclear energy. Upon my arrival in Tehran, I was warmly received by portraits of Ayatollah Khomeini and immense frescoes that glorify war and sacrifice. A foreign journalist can't work here without the Department of Guidance and its representatives, a type of propaganda ministry. Right off the bat, they assign me a driver and a translator. I found out that the intelligence services employ my driver.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Where are you from? Do you have authorization from the local police?
What is that? The local police?
You must go see the manager.
I have a letter from the guidance ministry. It enabled us to film throughout Iran. I do not want to get in trouble with the special forces, but I also belong to the special force.
Every single one of my movements is reported to the ministry. I will be under surveillance throughout the entire report. Based on the messages broadcasted over the loudspeakers, France is not popular. The entire district of Tehran University is encircled by the Basij, the renowned militiamen of the revolution. However, it's just the main Friday prayer that is about to begin. The moment we begin filming, the militiamen halt me.
No, not here. It's prohibited. You are not allowed to film in this area.
We are escorted to the security office. I have been asked to delete the footage I just recorded.
Welcome, welcome. Sit down. Delete that.
That's what I'm doing. I press the delete button.
Recording.
The Central University of Tehran's Grand Mosque. For 27 years, this is where the Ayatollahs have been determining the future of Iran. Everyone is awaiting the speech from the spokesperson of the revolution's leader, particularly following the remarks made by Jacques Chirac opposing Iran's nuclear aspirations. When the crowd is well harangued, the Ayatollah Mohammad Kashani, one of the regime's staunch supporters, immediately targets France.
You, the foolish French, and you, Chirac, who considers yourself as the president of a democratic country. Are you labeling us as terrorists? Do you believe we live in an oppressive country? But as always, you're misunderstanding things. For it is you, indeed you, who dwell in selfishness and tyranny. And your nights of excess have caused you to lose your sanity.
With Saddam Hussein, the age-old foe behind bars, and with America mired in Iraq, Iran has never felt more powerful. The Islamic Republic has stirred up its old demons. After the speeches and symbols, it becomes a prayer which advocates for a protest against the French embassy. 3 days ago, the building was targeted with a Molotov cocktail. This time, the Iranian response forces are present. 100 militiamen have convened to voice objections against France's stance, who is apprehensive that Iran might acquire nuclear weapons. Once again, the protesters appear to be manipulated.
Down with France. Down with France. Jacques Chirac, you are like Bin Laden. Jacques Chirac, you are like Bin Laden.
The tricolor flag is ripped apart and subsequently trampled upon. Among the throng, I discern a man donning a white turban, the sole religious individual at the protest. He may be behind the scenes, but it seems he's the one controlling the game.
Down with France. Down with France.
The This religious figure is involved in all anti-Western demonstrations. A few days prior, he was outside the Austrian embassy when the European flags were desecrated and the French colors ablaze. This mullah's name is said Naini. He devotes his life to loudly proclaiming his hatred for the West, but he is not shy. The following day, he agreed to meet me outside the mosque. Mullah Naini is not just a religious leader, he is also a provocateur and a political officer. In the car, the mullah is displeased with my constant filming of him.
Do you have any other way to film me? Here, there is nothing worth filming, and besides, it draws attention to me.
What is your profession?
Well, nothing really. I don't work in the traditional sense. I engage in religious propaganda. I am simply fulfilling my Islamic duty for the benefit of the people. I am not reliant on any organization.
For someone who doesn't work, Mullah Naini is managing quite well. Comfortable home in Tehran, situated in an upscale neighborhood, American-style kitchen. That day, his wife and daughters were absent, but the reception is courteous, almost warm.
This way, sir, please. Welcome. Feel at home.
For the interview, we settled in, sitting on carpets in traditional Iranian style.
Come here.
How did you come to be religious?
I became an imam out of love and a deep appreciation for the religion. Drawing nearer to religion, I believe that the faithful have a better life, and even beyond death, it's significantly better for them.
Did the Islamic Revolution sway your decision?
Yes, without the Islamic Revolution, I may have never known the religion, as are many others, incidentally. Personally, I enjoy spreading the teachings of Islam.
Suddenly, the mullah took out his watch. It's time for prayer. Then he continues.
In Islam, it's straightforward. Politics stands on one side, and on the other hand, what regulates the daily life of individuals. If Islam is separated from the government, the religion cannot be fully realized.
Religion also features prominently in Iranian newspapers. Hamshari, the most widely circulated publication in Iran. This newspaper was particularly appalled by the caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad published in the Danish press. The Daily Hamshari, supportive of the government, decided to retaliate by initiating a drawing competition regarding the Holocaust. I'm going to record this newspaper the day he organizes a press conference for the official launch of this provocative contest. The press conference is being facilitated by the editor-in-chief. It's this man in the white turban. Once again, he's a mullah. Here, no stylistic devices are employed. Immediately, the heavy artillery to deny the Holocaust.
The goal of the competition is not to insult or provoke. If the Westerners are also fearful, it's not just because we're organizing a competition, but because we are likely to uncover the truth about the Holocaust. As a journalist, I request the freedom to pose this question. Did the Holocaust truly occur? And if he never existed, admit it to us. It was a falsehood.
The following day, the creative director of the Hamshari newspaper agrees to host me at his house. That's brave. Davoud Kassemi lives comfortably in a European-style apartment with his son and his wife, who doesn't wear a veil at home. To stay informed, he watches European satellite channels. But like many Iranians, he is a man of dual personalities. Perhaps he does not condone the regime, however. He echoes the official discourse of anti-Semitism and denialism.
Recently, I heard that this figure of 6 million Jews who died during the war was not accurate. It is also claimed that these individuals were not burned alive. In fact, they were afflicted with contagious diseases such as typhus, and they were dying from it. So as not to infect others with typhus. Or even in cases of other diseases, their bodies were incinerated. It was, in a manner of speaking, a protective measure. But as for me, you know, I can't really judge. It's merely what I've been told.
In Iran, both cartoons and slogans echo the official propaganda with this concern to never cross the boundaries set by the religious authorities. Never critique religion or the regime. According to the most recent updates, the Hamshari newspaper has canceled the Holocaust Remembrance Contest. No one had sent the drawing. How can one be Jewish and live in a country that advocates for the obliteration of Israel? On the eve of Sabbath, I decide to visit the synagogue in Tehran. Not many people around, a mix of young and old with a few women as well.
May God save my children.
There are still 25,000 Jews residing in Iran. There were over 100,000 of them before the Islamic Revolution, from the era of the Shah. Since then, the community has become insular and steer clear of conflicts with the authorities. Upon exiting, everyone quickly scatters. The fear is tangible. Iranian Jews prefer not to voice their opinions regarding the denial of the Holocaust.
We are Jewish and
we don't believe in everything that people say.
Everybody says.
But he claimed that the Holocaust never happened.
He says his ideas.
These are his ideas.
Do not converse with anyone here.
I can talk to whoever I want.
This young man isn't doing anything illegal. He just wants our opinion.
Why are you not interested in an interview?
I can't understand what he says. It's not possible. Madam, I suggest you refrain from intervening and returning home.
In light of their unease, I choose not to press further. You need to visit the representative of the Jewish community for more information. Maurice Modermd is an engineer and architect. He is also the sole Jewish representative in the Iranian parliament, but he too is very cautious.
No, we have never been apathetic towards this matter. Following Mr. Ahmadinejad's address on the Holocaust, I gave an interview to the Iranian press. I have presented the historical evidence of the Holocaust. For instance, that of the Nuremberg trials. These are things that cannot be readily denied.
His Muslim colleague shares his perspective.
Yes, I was shocked because of the actions of our country's president has a background in civil engineering. He should not have broached historical subjects like that.
Iran, with a population of 70 million, half of which are under the age of 18. The economy is ailing, society is indoctrinated, strictly monitored, at least on the streets. I had barely pulled out my camera in front of the bazaar that a mere bystander stops me and alerts the police to verify my intentions.
I am Iranian. Indeed, I am Iranian. Do you know that I have a deep affection for my country?
Did you call the police?
Yes.
Why the police?
As I just explained, an Iranian is responsible, and so are all Iranians. I inquired with the young lady. She confirmed that you are French. That's why there's no issue. I just wanted to ensure everything was all right.
That's fine.
Every one of the 60 million Iranians is the same. 60 million Iranians, they're all alike. They bear responsibility for their country. They all cherish Iran, just as 2 days ago, when millions of Iranians took to the streets for their country.
In the bazaar, we are scheduled to meet a young couple who owns a scarf shop. A profitable business in this country where the veil is compulsory. But yet again, a guard is preventing us from filming.
But they simply want to conduct an interview.
You do not have the right to record women.
But we indeed have authorization.
Bring it to the police station for verification.
We have authorization.
Ignore him. Take it easy.
Do not worry. Why are we not allowed to film women here?
I don't know. This is the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Help me. I need your help.
It was primarily the disadvantaged who propelled the new president into power. Almost 30 million Iranians are living in poverty. To secure his election, Ahmadinejad effectively persuaded and rallied those who had been overlooked by its predecessors. Lacking work, he supplied them with guiding principles and taglines. Not a week passes without the regime staging something a large protest. First against the caricatures of Muhammad, then against Israel and America.
Down with USA. Down with USA.
The Prophet Muhammad is great. The English people are bad. America also has its flaws. Israel is severely flawed, and France. There is nothing commendable about you. Allah is great. You are all liars. What you portray in your films is a falsehood. All of you are liars. Here, people are not what you presume them to be.
And she gives a thumbs up. This gesture is offensive in Iran. In the slogans, the president is already revered as a saint in Islam. The protest is remotely orchestrated by the government and will be extensively disseminated by the national media. In this strategy, the entire population must participate and children are also highlighted.
Down with Israel.
And the new buzzword for the past few months, it's the nuclear power.
She has a message for you.
Nuclear energy is our undeniable right, and America is powerless against it.
Ever since President Ahmadinejad was elected, mysticism is making a resurgence, akin to the era of Ayatollah Khomeini. That's why I am heading to Jamkharan, located 30 kilometers south of Tehran. Jamkharan is a holy site. According to Shiite tradition, This is where the disappearance occurred one of the prominent imams, and that's where he should return in the guise of the Messiah, the Savior, following the apocalypse. Miracles are said to have already occurred in Jamkaren. Iranians have faith in it, and they arrive in droves during the evening, whether as a couple or a family, eagerly awaiting the end of the world, since it heralds the return of the Mahdi. Why are you coming here?
Here, it's a romantic rendezvous. This is the site of the apocalypse, the epicenter of the world's end.
We pledged to come every night for 40 weeks this year.
Do you admire President Ahmadinejad?
Ahmadinejad is one of our own. He hails from the common folk, showing concern for our issues.
I have a meeting with the head of the mosque, once more, flanked by militiamen. Filming the prayer is prohibited, yet I see the business of selling religious images and hymns are thriving. Mullahs, too, are businessmen. Imam Hamadi is the head of the mosque. He is at the helm of a genuinely modern corporation. He is accustomed to foreign media, and his discourse on the corruption of the West and the return of the Mahdi is perfectly orchestrated.
We are waiting for the Mahdi, the Messiah. We believe that the world today resembles this desert. And when the Mahdi, in the company of Christ, emerges, so it will be like a storm over the desert. At that point, the world will transform, evolving into a paradise, as you can observe here. But there is a hurdle, the White House, which represents the axis of evil and oppression in the world.
The director also backs President Ahmadinejad. It is not a coincidence. The beliefs associated with Jamkaren are used to divert attention from the economic crisis. Furthermore, President Ahmadinejad's initial action was to donate 15 million euros to the sacred mosque. The following morning, I was invited to the mausoleum of Imam Khomeini, a sacred site in Iran. 17 years after the death of the Grand Ayatollah, people come from all over the country to worship him with utmost devotion and even idolatry. Throughout the year, tens of thousands of Iranian pilgrims gather around his grave. For them, it is an indication that the memory of Ayatollah Khomeini is still ongoing, that the Islamic Revolution remains alive. In this daily procession, men and women are segregated. But the highlight is every February 1st, anniversary of Khomeini's homecoming to Iran. On this occasion, the regiments of the army were invited, but also the Basij. This is the other cornerstone of the Ahmadinejad regime. Basij signifies volunteers, the epitome of an ideal Iranian Muslim. It begins quite early, as young as 5 years old. The Basij currently serve as the government's eyes and ears. perspective of the regime, the entire Iranian society should be part of the Basij.
Being a Basij means being part of the community, serving the people. I desire to serve the people.
Was Ahmadinejad a good president?
Yes, indeed.
Ahmadinejad epitomizes the ideal Basij. He adores the Basij. We take pride in him because he stood up against America and towards Israel. He is a true member of the Basij.
The ceremony will span the entire day. That day, the entire Iranian clergy was in attendance. All the imams who have established the Islamic Republic from its inception, role models for the young Basij. Indeed, it was the Basij who facilitated the election of Ahmadinejad. The opposition accuses them of vote buying. This is indeed the stance of Dr. Yazdi, the head of the legal opposition.
Last year, the government misappropriated $300 million oil revenues to be allocated to the Basij.
$300 million were took and gave to Basijis. It was given to Basij.
Initially, it was utilized to recruit and enlist more young Basij members within the most impoverished strata of society.
Recruit many of these young youth among the low-income families. Therefore,
just like that, they effortlessly manipulated those people by informing them, it's your religious responsibility, that of your mother, your father, your brother, to vote for a certain person, so and so.
Not only you yourself, but for example, your mother, your father, your brother, to go and vote for such and such person.
And that's how they swayed the result of the election.
Intervene in the election.
President Ahmadinejad is the most elusive man in Tehran. Since his election, numerous foreign journalists they requested to interview him, but were unsuccessful. That day, I attempted to approach him during a literary awards ceremony. After an initial screening, the journalists are escorted on an official bus en route to the Tehran Opera House. Inside, a select group of reporters, all authorized by the presidency. Delphine Minoui is a journalist of French-Iranian descent. She collaborates with several French media outlets and has been employed in Tehran for several years.
We are required to follow the programs, but the foreign press does not have access to the president's press conferences. This is often restricted to in-house journalists. But will we be able to ask him questions?
When you are issued a press card, what is its validity period? Can't you discuss it? Is it complex? Is it challenging to renew your press card?
It's not obvious.
Being a journalist in Tehran is not an easy task. The press pass needs to be renewed monthly. At the finish line, it's a race to see who will secure the best position to record the one everyone is eagerly awaiting. Gradually, the theater is becoming populated with students. In the front row, there are a handful of Western diplomats and professors from universities. It's the anticipation. And all of a sudden, there he is. The man who instills fear in the West, the regulator of Islam, ascended to the presidency. As always, the ceremony commences with the national anthem, followed by the call to worship. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, former member of the Revolutionary Guard, served as the mayor of Tehran until last June. It was in this role that he captured the hearts of the less fortunate. Engineer, PhD in civil engineering, 49 years old, 5 feet, it stands out for its simplicity and populism. He promised each family that they would become shareholders from the oil industry, a promise yet unfulfilled. In his speeches, he echoes the sentiments previously expressed by Khomeini 27 years ago. The West was perceived as evil and Islam as good.
I would like to express it. The key to our people's survival does not lie in the production of weapons or of wealth. The key to survival lies in culture. The West has brought nothing but war, the plight of poverty and corruption for humanity. Since the Western world has taken dominance, humanity yearns for peace. Fortunately, we see that the people are heeding the Prophet's voice, and we think it's a very good path.
Upon leaving, Dr. Ahmadinejad does not linger. He pledged to assist the impoverished. He is bombarded with questions and complaints and even professions of love.
Mr. President, please respond. Just a single sentence, one autograph. I wish to meet the president. A brief note, I love you, Mr. Ahmadinejad.
We'll handle it. We'll do what's necessary.
Despite being surrounded by bodyguards and a crowd, I succeeded in asking him a question. Doctor, a question for French television. Doctor.
A message for France.
A message for France? What is your message for France?
Many things.
Many things. Yes, I received it. I got it. Stay strong. Peoples always attain victory. Victory always belongs to the people.
There are a lot of people up ahead.
It's impossible to acquire more. As of today, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has still not gave an interview to the international media. Where does this man, who inspires such passion in his country and so much anxiety overseas? I decide to visit the president's birthplace, 60 kilometers north of Tehran. Eridan, a quaint town with a population of 7,000, a poor region that survives on livestock farming and a little agriculture. Here, everyone voted for him. I have a meeting with his cousins, who are small-town merchants.
Yes, my wife is a cousin of Ahmadinejad.
He moved to Tehran at the age of 7. When he was a child, he was very intelligent and cunning.
As a family, we believed he would come in 3rd or 4th in the election, but not the president. Maybe they elected him because he did a good job as governor.
Ahmadinejad is a decent man. During the initial years of the revolution, he had arrived from Tehran to instruct in the Quran. He championed the example of the Basij, demonstrating great activity.
The reception is warm. They are proud of the local boy who grew up to be president. We are going to visit the house where he was born. Along the journey, the family circle has broadened. The house is located at the end of the street and it has been deserted for a very long time.
Here we are, it's here. It's there.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad lived on this farm along with his 6 siblings. Today, all that remains are ruins.
Her parents relocated to Tehran when he was 7 years old. 50 years. It was 50 years ago.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's father is deeply religious and leads a modest lifestyle, but all of her children will attend university. Did he live there?
Yes, yes.
In 50 years, Ahmadinejad has risen from this humble home in the presidency, a miracle for his family.
For us, this story is unprecedented. Generally, becoming a president requires substantial wealth, networks, or a specific power. He made it there with nothing. All of this is thanks to God, simply through persistence.
Qom, the sacred city, approaching 3 weeks of coverage. The same driver, an intelligence agent, consistently accompanies me. Despite his smiles, my interpreter consistently makes reports at my slightest movement. In this staunchly conservative city, Ahmadinejad won over 80% of the votes. Yet it is in Qom that I have an appointment with the greatest political dissident, Ayatollah Montazeri, the second in command of the regime during the initial years of the revolution. Today, the Imam is constantly monitored by approximately 30 Basij. Upon my arrival, they seized my camera without realizing that it continues to record. Half an hour later, the Basij handed back my camera. Why did the Basij confiscate my camera?
Because this area is considered a military zone.
In the waiting room, there were Iranians from all backgrounds. They are coming to seek guidance from Ayatollah Montazeri regarding religious matters and also their personal issues. Once again, men are segregated from women. Ali Montazeri, that's him, the diminutive 82-year-old man, in a bonnet and slippers. He, who was once the heir apparent to Ayatollah Khomeini, the intellectual powerhouse of the revolution. Ayatollah Montazeri, a representative of the Iranian Shiite clergy close to Ayatollah Khomeini. For the interview, Ali Montazeri intends to change his outfit just as in the time of his reign. The Grand Ayatollah has not lost any of his vigor. He is the one who authored the Constitution of the Islamic Republic. Today, he is the only one able to critique what she has transformed into.
I was one of the founding figures of the Islamic Republic. I desired an Islamic Republic, but not in this manner, not with oppression or the truncheon. To me, the Republic signified a government by the people, and being Islamic meant adhering to the principles of Islam. But they introduced a term, the concept of absolute, and they turned the Republic into a despotism.
For him, the most egregious scandal, it's because the oil revenue did not benefit the Iranian people.
They had everything in their favor, particularly oil. Back then, a barrel was priced at $2. Today, it costs $68. But they made promises they did not keep, and as they carried out their actions in the name of Islam, they portrayed Islam in a negative light. Nowadays, young people are losing interest in religion and they are discontented.
Returning to Tehran en route to the parliament, I am seeking to meet with the opposition to Ahmadinejad's government. It is a significantly small opposition, holding less than 10% of the seats, impossible to locate in the parliamentary chamber, since the representatives are seated in alphabetical order. The fight against the American devil is on the agenda. Members of parliament are debating measures to be implemented to limit imports of Coca-Cola. In opposition, discussions, and in the spectator area, journalists, the Iranian parliament has all the trappings of democracy. Did Ahmadinejad's election shock you?
I think it was a shock for everyone, both within Iran and internationally, including for myself.
Why?
He stood no chance of success. Nobody thought he would get that many votes and that he would make it to the second round. In France, you experienced this jolt during the last presidential election, and Le Pen advanced to the second round. But the French managed to mobilize to prevent her to ascend to the presidency. In Iran, the same issue arose. Nevertheless, the Iranians still voted for Ahmadinejad.
In the Hall of the Wandering Steps, questions for the deputies are exclusively for Iranian journalists, not for foreigners. Yet, I am attempting to converse with the congresswoman from Tabriz, a staunch conservative.
Ahmadinejad ascended to power through the vote of the people. What I like is that he speaks frankly what he has to express. He voiced out loud what the country is thinking silently. Moreover, he stands against Western governments, and that terrifies their leaders. Yes, I believe that Israel should be wiped off the map.
Do you have the permission letter from the Department of Guidance? The guidance permits you to record the session, but not to pose questions to the parliament members.
Opposition or not, all MEPs agree on one thing. Iran is entitled to nuclear energy.
Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you, I'm doing very well.
We have signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Why shouldn't we have access to nuclear power?
This time, we are truly being ousted from Parliament. Over the phone, my interpreter provides an immediate report of the incident to his superior.
We encountered issues in the Parliament. They said that we were not allowed to do interviews, but to simply record the session. But he still filmed it.
The battle over nuclear energy is emerging as a rallying point for Iranian society. On the streets, in mosques, or in the squares of revolution, every Iranian demands their country's right to nuclear power, from the president to the taxi driver.
One wonders why they would be entitled to nuclear power and not us. During the reign of the Shah, Iran was renowned and esteemed globally. We too would like to harness the benefits of nuclear energy.
If nuclear energy is so detrimental, why does he possess it and keep us from obtaining it?
What sparked concerns in the West? It's this nuclear power plant currently under construction in Bushehr, in the southern part of the country. UN inspectors have uncovered that the Mallah government was capitalizing on the situation to enrich uranium, officially for the production of electricity, but likely also for constructing an atomic bomb as the United States and Europe have feared. In this power struggle between Tehran and the West, he is the pivotal figure, Ali Larijani, chief negotiator for the nuclear dossier. While I am in Tehran, he is arranging a press conference. It's difficult to envision that this man, who appears so affable, is a radical Muslim, one of the most influential advisors to the supreme leader, and that he established an Islamist and anti-Semitic television network. To take action, one must negotiate and enroll well in advance. Eventually, I get 30 seconds to ask a question, only one question. Why is the West so apprehensive about Iran's nuclear program?
When certain heads of state, such as the American president, discuss about Iran, they always bring up the atomic bomb. While we solely engage in civilian nuclear research.
As is his usual practice, Ali Larijani seeks to reassure, but it is not enough. The UN has given Iran a 30-day deadline to halt its nuclear program. In this nuclear negotiation, Iran possesses a well-equipped army. Long-range missiles with the ability to reach Israel, young and highly skilled troops. Officially, there are 500,000 men and women, excluding the Revolutionary Guards and the Basij militia. And in the parades, the regime doesn't hold back to display his kamikaze commandos, a provocation that substantiates the American charge of a terrorist state. As the ultimate threat, the Islamic Republic praises the Iranian people's spirit of sacrifice. They demonstrated it 15 years ago during the war against Iraq, a massacre that claimed the lives of nearly 1 million Iranians. Nearly every family has experienced the loss of a father, a son, or an uncle. On Friday, the day of prayer, the cemetery of the martyrs in Tehran never empties.
He was my cousin, barely 18 years old.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was elected for a 4-year term. Behind the propaganda and dramatic displays, what are truly the intentions of the Iranian president? How far will it go, and above all, how far will the Iranian people stand behind his president?